Well, welcome to today's webinar, Simple Ways to Drive Traffic to Your Website and Inventory with Tracy Amato from Auction 123. I'm Nicole, and I'll be moderating the webinar today. We are recording the presentation, so a copy will be available on our website later this week. And again, if you're listening to the webinar through the phone, we have muted your phone lines to eliminate background noise. If anyone else joins during the webinar, we may need to do that mute again. But you're welcome to submit questions at any time using the chat icon at the top of your screen, and we'll be able to answer all of those questions at the end of the presentation. So FIADA is pleased to introduce today's speaker, Tracy Amato, who is Director of Marketing for Auction 123. Auction 123 is the leading provider of website development, inventory management, and online marketing solutions for dealerships since 2001. Today, Tracy will discuss how to obtain higher search engine rankings, share tips for optimizing web content, offer suggestions for improving your social media presence, and explain how listing on marketplaces like eBay, Craigslist, and classifieds can increase your website traffic. Tracy, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Nicole. Good morning, everybody. It's a pleasure to have the opportunity to address all of you this morning. As some of you might know, Auction 123 is a Florida-based company. We actually have offices here in Weston, Florida, which is just outside of Fort Lauderdale. And we've been a member and supporter of FIADA for many years now. I've probably had the pleasure of meeting some of you at the annual convention, and perhaps some of you have attended seminars that I've been fortunate to participate in at the conventions. So Auction 123, we've been working with dealers since 2001, started mainly as an eBay listing solution, and we evolved to become a more centralized management solution for all of the dealership's online marketing needs, from website to data distribution for your online sites and marketplaces. And I've personally been with Auction 123 for over 5 years now, and I've had the opportunity to work with dealerships around the country on developing and enhancing their online marketing initiatives. And that's what we're going to discuss today, basically more ways to drive online traffic to your dealership and methods to increase your online footprint. So, just to start out with some stats, obviously you know that the internet is one of the most important avenues that you need to focus your attention on. Over 90% of shoppers are using the internet when they're making a purchasing decision. So 97%, let's just put that at 100 of your vehicle shoppers are actually going to use the internet to research your dealership before they ever step onto your lot. So before that customer comes to your lot, you can automatically know that they've already done their homework on you. Used car buyers, they're spending a ton of time on the internet, 15.25 hours. So not only are they researching you, but you can know that they're also researching the vehicles, they're researching your competitors, and they're armed with a lot of knowledge now before they even meet you. 75% of their shopping time is online. So prior to coming onto the lot, they might spend 25% of their time pressing the flesh and talking to different dealerships and looking at and test driving vehicles, but the majority of their time is already spent researching and knowing exactly what they're looking for. So when it comes to your website, which is probably the forefront of your online presence, an interesting notion is that your search engine optimization isn't 100% dependent on a website. 4 years ago, it was trying to get dealers to understand that they needed to have a website, and a lot of dealers were on the forefront of understanding that the website was an important aspect to their online presence. Now it's a strength of knowing, okay, just having a website isn't enough. The fact that your inventory is out there on a website, that's just not enough anymore. In order to show up in search engines, you're going to need to do a little more work in terms of getting content out there. So really only 15% of your total results have to do with the design and the quality of your site. The rest of your search engine results are dependent on things like articles that you write, or your social media presence, or blogs, or videos, any YouTube action that you're doing. All of this really drives traffic to your dealership and to your site. So it's critically important that you make sure that you are staying active online and writing articles, writing blogs. I understand that for some of you, you might be a 2-person operation, and others of you might be, a 12-person operation. Even when you're a 1 or 2-person operation, it still is important to get fresh content out there. So let's talk about managing your existing site. What are you actually doing right now to drive traffic to your site besides just having a website? 60% of your buyers do not contact the dealership prior to their visit. So when you are looking at your website and trying to determine, okay, is this site working for us? You're not going to know based on how many phone calls you're getting if you're using a tracking phone number on your site or by how many web forms are being submitted on your website. Most people do not initiate contact with a dealership prior to just walking on the lot, when we're talking about local traffic, of course. So in order for you to really know what's going on with your website, it's important that you're able to get access to comprehensive site analytics. So you can do that through through your Google Analytics, or your website provider should be offering the opportunity for you to have access to data and information like this. And this can really help you know if what you're doing is assisting in driving traffic to your site, and it'll allow you to make judgment calls on modifying your online activities. So it's good to know how many visitors are coming, how many page views, where they're coming from. Traffic sources are really important so that you can understand how your online marketing is working, where people are coming from, and what they're searching for to find your website. Content, what entry pages, what exit pages are they coming into or leaving from? And so the other important thing about your website is being able to have access to content management tools. Like I said, once a site's created, it should not just be a static content. It should be a living, breathing thing where you're able to actively edit your content and actively add new information to your site. New information is a critical factor into getting search results on your site. So search engine spiders are going to go out there and they're looking for fresh content and they're looking for new content. If your site is just static, they'll pass by your site. So it's important to pick up those hits. Now, some of the ways that you can do this is by having pages on your site that allow you to deliver quality content. And the quality content that you're delivering needs to be on a fairly frequent basis. Now, I'm not saying daily, but once a week or twice a month. At least start small to get yourself moving to add pump fresh content into your site so that those search engine spiders are actually picking up new content. So some ideas, it can be daunting, and the notion of supplying fresh content to a site can be a little intimidating. You can have a great idea of wanting to do it, but it's actually implementing it is the tough part. So one of my number one suggestions to dealers is a new customer page. Obviously, with the approval of your customers, see if they'll allow you to say who they were, where they're from, and what vehicle they purchased, and ask for a testimonial. This is a wonderful opportunity to interject, search engine terms into your website, such as makes and models of vehicles, some regionalized local search assistance by putting local cities or towns on your site in a frequent basis in natural content text. Some other ideas are maintenance tips, service tips, payment tips for those people who are requiring financing, if you're offering in-house financing, or if you have advice on how to make the whole financing process less painful for your customers. Using your day-to-day operations, the pitfalls that you run into or the issues that your customers might have in securing financing or with the maintenance of the used vehicle that they purchased. All of these are things that you can use as a method to inform customers who shop on your site, ways to get around any pitfalls they might experience, or positive content about, how easy it is to maintain or service a Honda, let's say, or a used Honda. So there's a lot of different avenues in which you could submit fresh content to your site without it being too painful, without it being too much of a daunting task. And videos, YouTube is just a phenomenal site to be on. So if you can come up with how-to videos, let's say a customer drove off the lot last week and they called you 2 days later because a headlight was out or a tail light was out. Snap a quick 5-minute how-to video on how to change the bulb and put it up on your site. Put it to YouTube first, grab the embed code from YouTube, and then pop it onto your site. This is where content management tools become important. But So when we're talking about your text content, it's important to focus on search phrases, not just single keywords. I'm sure you've probably seen a few sites, or maybe somebody's guilty of it here, but you'll look at the bottom of a site and you just see keyword after keyword after keyword, just a bunch of makes and models or locations. You can actually be penalized for overfluffing or overstuffing keywords on your site. So it is important to focus on some natural language, actual search phrases, what you think your customers will be searching for. Everybody likes the word pre-owned, but the mentality of most shoppers is that they are searching used. So if your customers are searching for the word used cars in Pompano Beach, although pre-owned might sound nicer, used is what people are really searching for. Be sure to use your location in your text. Instead of just saying our dealership in your About Us, make sure you pop your location in, our West Palm dealership, our South Florida dealership, things that people are going to be searching. Another advice for content, keep track of your top makes and models that are sold on a month-to-month basis, and do a report on the site. It's an easy way to put a blog post of, here's the top 10 makes and models that we sold this month. Do an annualized, we sold X number of blank make, X number of blank make. Just different ways to interject some quality content. And natural language is really important, just not overstuffing with keywords. So mobile has really been a driving force right now. Mobile means that people are on the go. They're using their mobile devices now more than they're sitting at home at a desktop searching. And most actual mobile searches are occurring when people are at work or at home. So the desktop is kind of going by the wayside. And just some statistics on how much mobile is impacting your business. 82% of your shoppers are using their mobile device to make their purchasing decision, comparing pricing, finding out more product info on you, or locating a retailer. And 63% of your auto shoppers, they're shopping online while at the dealership using their mobile device. So basically, if they're on your lot, they've got a phone in their pocket, chances are they're looking at other vehicles that you might have right there, just to see what else you have available. 25% of your shoppers are actually comparing pricing on a competitor's lot. This is something called showrooming, and it's becoming a more and more frequent trend in the automotive industry. It's always kind of existed in the retail industry, but your shoppers are usually looking at pricing or what other inventory a competitor has. But, a quarter of your customers are doing this, and that could be higher right now. The point is that you can address that with your shopper by asking them, are you looking at any other vehicles right now? Are you looking at any other lots? And addressing it as opposed to ignoring it, because, you'll have the opportunity to explain why perhaps the vehicle that you have on your lot is priced a little bit more than what your competitor is selling a similar vehicle for. Perhaps there's different options. Perhaps there's different mileage. Just a variety of differences that you can address right then and there. So just be aware that people are doing this, and find out a way that might best combat that. And, over a quarter of your website visits are mobile. That number is just going to continue to grow. So the question is, what should your mobile shoppers see when they actually look at your site? It's important to either have a responsive site, which means that it's your website that is responsive down to the mobile devices, so people aren't pinching and stretching, or to have an actual living, breathing mobile site that's not just a mini version of your existing site. Your mobile site should be concise. It should be fewer tabs, fewer links, just the information that they're looking for. What is your customer really looking for when they're looking on a mobile site? They want to see your inventory, and they want to see probably some information about you guys, about how you do financing or what you suggest. So the less is more approach. You don't want a million pages of content. They're probably not going to look at it. They're probably going to look specifically at your inventory. So when somebody accesses your mobile site, make sure it's engaging. Easy to click buttons, information that they want to see, click to call if they want to speak to you right then, click for map and directions, super important. They want to be able to just click a button and be able to see exactly where you are and find out how to get to you. Click to email, just make sure it's a simple process. And I definitely advise, if you haven't done so, check out what your website looks like from a mobile device. and see if it's user-friendly for your customers. Now, your mobile inventory, that's a different approach as well. It's important that your mobile inventory is attractive. This is what's going to drive traffic to your lot. Just like the desktop version of making sure that you want your inventory to look presentable on a device, the same goes for your mobile device. So your mobile inventory should be user-friendly. Let them click to view the photos so that they can view the photos full screen. Let them click to expand the features and specs. They should be able to easily filter, provide them with the same filtering options that they would have if they were sitting on a desktop, so that they don't have to scroll through all your inventory. If they're looking specifically for a certain make, they can easily search down for that. And once again, the large calls to action. If somebody's on a mobile device, they don't want to have to pinch or stretch their screen. They want to be able to click easily to tap a button to contact or tap to call. So your mobile, once again, is your local customer. Smartphones, people are shopping on the moment. They're searching on the moment. They could drive by your dealership on their way to lunch and then happen to be waiting for their lunch buddy to come and look at your site and start searching for what you have available. They're going to look on their phone before they actually walk into your lot. So it's important that you make sure that your presentation is on point. Local searches make up for 40% of all smartphone activity. So knowing that you have the ability for your customers to see you in a clean presentation, and people the bounce rate on mobile sites, if it's not what your customer is hoping to see, the bounce rate can be extremely quick. So it's important that your presentation is there and ready to go. So social media, it's something that we all talk about a lot, and basically it's understanding more or less what site you should use for what. Like I said in the beginning, your social media presence and what you're doing online in terms of social media, like your Twitter, your Facebook, YouTube, believe it or not, is considered a social media site, your blogging. All of these add up to your search engine rankings. So the content freshness, your involvement with social media, they're extremely influential factors to your online presence and to your search engine optimization. So your customers also rely on social media as a means to verify or validate your business. So, if one of your customers writes something about your dealership on their social media site, and their friends see it, and it's a positive review or a good recommendation, that is one of the most trusted forms of advertising, is recommendations from people that you're acquaintances with or that you're friends with, and also opinions that are posted online. So if somebody's writing about their experience with you, and somebody, a friend or a friend of a friend, sees that on a social media platform, it helps generate more business for your dealership. So it's understanding how to use each site, though. Twitter, a lot of people will invest more of their time into the Facebook aspect. If you're writing a blog, or if you're creating videos, if you're doing anything that includes content, like let's say you wrote a post, or you want to highlight your new vehicle, your new buyer's page on your website, I strongly suggest using Twitter to post links to content, just because Twitter actually has a larger number of links, of clicks that are occurring on the links than any other Facebook or email. So if you're taking the time to create YouTube videos, or you're writing a blog, or you wrote an article about tips for financing, share that content to Twitter, because you're bound to get more links from it when you share it to Twitter. Also, if you're doing community events, if you have specials going on, just go ahead and share that to Twitter. The links that you share to Twitter cause more engagement. So for Facebook, this is where I see a lot of you guys putting a lot of effort into, and I definitely agree with the effort that is put into it, as long as it's organic effort. If you're going out and purchasing likes online, I know that there's companies that sell likes for Facebook. That's not going to help you. Facebook's made so many changes recently in what in how they actually show content on the site. And it's important that your fans, the people who actually like your page, are engaging with your page. So when you purchase likes through a third party, what ends up happening is you have a whole plethora of people who are not engaging with your page because they might not even be local, or they might not really be interested in your business. And if they're not engaging in your page, then your content is not even showing up in their newsfeed. So it's really important that your Facebook following is organic. So when people are on your lot, offer incentives for them to become fans. While they're there in front of you, ask them to like your Facebook page. Let them know that, hey, we do monthly barbecues, or we put up service tips, or any content that you think would engage your people who are currently on your lot or who are currently shopping, or somebody who said they want to go home and think about it, and let them know that you post specials or sales or new inventory frequently to your Facebook page. That's a wonderful way to get them to engage right then and there and like your page there. It's important that your likes are people who are actually interested in your dealership. Facebook also gives you the opportunity to have a dialogue. You can ask questions to your customers. Your customers can post questions to you. It's a good opportunity to have conversation with your customers. Photo posts on Facebook, they're known to generate the most interaction. So once again, with the permission of your customers, it's a fantastic opportunity for you to perhaps post a picture of yourself with your new customer in front of the car. And the person who's going to share that post the most is the customer. So they're going to then spread out probably free advertising to all of their friends, saying, hey, check out this picture of me buying my new car at X dealership. So, and also Facebook is an opportunity where you're probably going to get some negative press as well. Don't shy away from those negative posts. It is an opportunity on a very public forum to make things right. A lot of times you're not going to hear positive reviews. You're going to hear negative reviews because it's always the people who have a bad experience who want to blast it to the world. You really have to kind of milk the people for the good positive reviews. But when there is a negative review, or if that occurs on your Facebook page, it does present you with a beautiful opportunity to have a public forum where you can rectify the issue, or you can show that you are not hiding away from the issue. It just gives an opportunity for your other customers or potential customers to see that you're not just going to delete the post of somebody doing something negative. You're going to have the conversation and try to take it offline. Contests, polls, there's free poll sites like Poll Daddy. Your contest, your polls, you can target your post to your exact demographic that you want, so your local community. Tailoring your content to your local community is going to help you with that organic fan interaction. YouTube, I put it in with social media just because it is in theory a social site. It's a site for sharing and comments and the such, but it's a fantastic site to invest time in. It's going to be time consuming. I'm not, doing the video and getting into the process and uploading it. It'll take a little bit of time, but it's so worth the outcome at the end. YouTube is owned by Google. It teeters between the number 3 and number 4 most visited site on the internet. And videos have a tendency to increase the stickiness of your vehicle details page or of your site. When there's a video to watch, people tend to click on it and look at the video. I don't mean video replaces the notion of taking a lot of good images, but it does help enhance the amount of time that somebody's going to spend looking at your inventory or staying on your website. Your consumers are watching the videos. Embedding your videos or posting it to YouTube, and then YouTube automatically creates this great embed code for you, makes it easy for you to put it on multiple platforms, to put it in your vehicle details page, have it in your eBay listings, have it on your website, put it on your Facebook page, link it to Twitter. The more clicks that your YouTube videos get, the higher your videos will show up in search results. Your description on YouTube is a wonderful opportunity to provide a backlink to your website. So utilize your YouTube title for your year, make, model, location, mileage, things of that nature, and then your description, once again, with some rich keywords, things that you think somebody would search for when looking for that specific vehicle, and always use this as an opportunity to link to your website. How-to videos, they're fantastic. I know that I've personally searched for things on how to sync a Bluetooth to my vehicle, phone to my vehicle, and I ended up on a dealership's page of YouTube videos where they're actually walking it through. And what I ended up doing, I was stuck on that site for about 20 minutes looking at their inventory and seeing what else they had. So when you create helpful, informative videos, it's not only helping your local customers, it's helping your search results, and it's bringing more traffic to your website from people who might not have even been maybe searching for a car but now know of your dealership and maybe researching for their next vehicle. So when you do those YouTube videos, just use the opportunity to broadcast them to your Twitter, your Facebook, your website, and any other avenue that you think you can utilize to expose the videos that you took so much time to create. Blogging is sometimes daunting for some people just because they look at it as, oh my gosh, I have to write this huge article and it's going to be, 10 paragraphs and it's just going to take me too much time. You can blog 10 sentences and it's still effective. So, if somebody comes to the lot today and you experience just experiences that you do day to day. People didn't have the right documentation to start a financing deal. People were curious about warranties and things of that nature. Your day-to-day activities, your day-to-day conversations with your customers, you can use your blog as a Q&A. If a customer asks you a question, if it's a question that you get asked often, put it up there, put the question there, answer it. It's fresh content. It's easy. It's a good way to provide your customers who are shopping on your site some information that might help them get things settled before they even show up to your lot. Because remember, they're just going to show up. They're probably not going to call or submit a web form. And B, it helps just deliver fresh content. So, don't worry about your keywords necessarily. Just do interesting content. The more interesting the content is, probably the more likely it will be filled with keywords. If you've got your blog, once again, it's a great opportunity to, when you write a quick article, when you write a couple paragraphs, whatever it is that you're writing, put it on your Google+, put it on your Facebook, put it on your Twitter. Just get in the habit of, I've created something, and now I'm going to share it with everybody. And that will just help deliver more content out there. Publish your blog to all of your sites that you can. So advertising inventory on top websites, this is once again just another way to drive traffic. Now, when we were just talking about social media, I don't necessarily recommend posting every new unit you get to your Facebook page or your Twitter page. It's actually a very frowned upon process. You'll lose a lot of likes or a lot of fans, or now if they're not even engaging with it because it's just too consistent, your posts are likely to not even show up in somebody's newsfeed who's a fan of your Facebook page. So if you're going to be advertising inventory, it's not necessarily the right platform to do it on Facebook or Twitter. You might want to throw up maybe 1 or 2 a week if there's new vehicles or something interesting that you got on the lot, but don't blast your social media with advertising your inventory. There's other sites to do that. So your sites to do that are probably your major Craigslist, your eBay, your cars for sale, your cars.com, Auto Trader. The most important thing that you need to do prior to starting to blast your inventory out there is make sure that your inventory presentation is on point. It's not cheap anymore to advertise your inventory online. Sure, there's a ton of free sites that you can advertise your inventory on, but before a provider even starts sending your inventory to a free listing site, make sure that you check out if it's a valuable site for your dealership, because a lot of those free sites out there are just asking providers to send inventory so that they could sell advertising, and the traffic's just not even there. And it's really important for you to make sure that you know exactly what you're getting and where your inventory is. Some of these sites ask for free feeds from providers and then try to turn around and sell you leads or sell your competitor leads on your own inventory. So if somebody submits a question on your vehicle, they can turn around and try to sell it to one of your competitors. Just know where your inventory is going and make sure it's a reputable source before getting excited about the fact that a provider might be blasting your inventory to 100 free listing sites. For the sites that you are paying for, including your own website, your inventory presentation is so important. It is your first impression. So clean the cars. Make sure the vehicles look good. Take the time to take good quality images. I still see dealers to this day who are taking 5, 6, 9 photos. And, like I said, your customer is doing all of their research online pretty much before they ever go into your lot. So how your inventory looks online is critically important to the amount of floor traffic you're going to be getting. So photos should be good quality. Take them later in the afternoon on a cloudy day so there's not a lot of shadowing or a reflection of a human body across the hood of the car, and take good photos. Just take enough of them where they're seeing a virtual walk around of the vehicle. Descriptions are also incredibly important. VIN decoding is boring. Nobody really cares about how tall the interior roof is or the space. They're not really reading dimensions and things of that nature. What's important is what you're physically writing about the vehicle. It's the human touch. It's the ability for you to add personality or life into the vehicle or highlight the important things that you feel that the customer should know about when they're looking at that specific vehicle. So your detailed descriptions should be, what is this vehicle? Why is it special? Just different features that aren't just the specs and features from a VIN code. So descriptions are important, and yes, it might take a little bit of time, but it's important to get that human touch in there besides just relying on a VIN decoder. Video, try to take a walk around video for each unit. I know there's a lot of providers, and we're actually one of them, who offers stitched together photos that are set to music. It's all right, but I've always been a big fan of when there's an actual real video that's discussing the vehicle, just a real live video. Once again, great opportunity. Upload it to YouTube, grab that embed code that they create, pop it in the inventory presentation, have a YouTube channel where it's visible, share it on Facebook, share it on Twitter, put it on your blog. Anything that you can do with the video, go ahead and do it. The more clicks you get, the higher it's going to show up in search results. And then your inventory presentation, your contact triggers throughout the listing. You have a question about this vehicle, call me. Try to elicit some contact. Try to get them excited to actually pick up the phone and call you, so that if they have any questions further about the vehicle, that they can get your contact information right there. Once your inventory presentation's on point, then you can start broadcasting your inventory. Cars.com, your Auto Trader, any sites that you are paying for, it's really important that you're able to sit back and truly analyze your ROI. You don't have to be on Auto Trader just because everyone says you have to be on Auto Trader if you find that Auto Trader is not working for you. But if Auto Trader is working for you, by all means, maintain that site. It's important to touch back and look every few months to see what is really working for you and have a really good way of tracking where your leads are coming from, because virtually every lead that you're getting now is an internet lead. So it's important to ask your customers, where were you looking at us? Where did you initially find us? So for eBay Motors, we are an eBay preferred provider personally, so we've seen a lot of dealers, especially in the used industry, independent dealers having a huge amount of success on this site as long as they have the proper processes in place. There's national listings for eBay, and there's local market. Local market is within a 200-mile radius of your dealership, SIP, where people can search for your vehicles on a classified ad price or place an offer. National listings, these are where you're going to generate the most amount of leads. It costs money. It's $65 per national listing. However, eBay is offering a lot of listing subscription packages to help ease that pain a little bit and offer you some discounts. But you can anticipate that you're going to get somewhere with the right pricing strategy about 8 to 12 unique leads or contacts on each of your listings. So, it's important to know that you're getting bang for your buck as long as you're working the leads properly. It is a time-sensitive follow-up. as with any lead that you're getting on the internet, it's important to contact them within that 10 to 15 minute range from receiving the lead. It used to be that you could, maybe wait a little while. Your shoppers, like I said in the beginning, they're going to your site, somebody else's site. They're spending, like I said, 15 and a quarter hours online doing their research. So the quicker you are to respond to your customers when they submit a lead, the quicker you are to start that relationship with the shopper. With eBay, you can use the leads to market other inventory. So if you're picking up the phone and calling the bidders that submit a bid on your listing, you treat them like they're somebody who walked on your lot. What's interesting about this vehicle? What other inventory are you shopping for? When are you looking to make a purchase? Do you have your financing in order? Do you have a trade-in? All of these questions can lead to finding out that maybe the vehicle that they bid on is not necessarily the vehicle that they are going to end up purchasing in the end. You might have other inventory on your lot that's more appealing to this particular customer. They just happen to bid on that vehicle, not knowing that you also have other vehicles that they're interested in. So it's a good opportunity to use the leads to market other inventory and just to determine their goal purchase. You can work with somebody who is, 1,000 miles away from you and make them your customer. People are willing to have a vehicle shipped to them as long as it's the vehicle that they're actually shopping for, that people want what they want. And it doesn't matter if they have to pay for shipping or if, it's a $500 shipping charge or a $600 shipping charge. If it's the vehicle that they want, work with them to make them your customer. So recommended eBay success strategy, start with a low starting price, utilize the reserve. Unless you know that your buy it now on your vehicle is a very competitive, attractive buy it now, don't put a buy it now. But if you're looking to just generate leads and get as many bids as possible, start your starting price low and utilize reserve. If you have a very attractive offer on your pricing and you have a good reputation on eBay, go ahead and use a buy it now format ad. Use the opportunity by listing the nicest and newest vehicle that you have. If you have similar makes and models, this is a good opportunity for you to then use that vehicle to generate leads and potentially market other inventory. And create an experience out of purchasing. Sports tickets, pick-up ride from the airport, dinner on you, hotel. The fact that you can say to them, fly to Florida and drive your car home. Putting experience in your eBay listings is an important strategy so that people feel confident and comfortable and excited to purchase from you. You can create relationships with people across the country through your eBay listings. Now, moving on to Craigslist, there was a huge change in this site on December 3rd. For those of you who are not aware, Craigslist started charging $5 per post. And I had a lot of predictions about this, and most of them have come true, where for the deal, we support a large number of dealers on Craigslist, and we've seen nothing but positive results that have occurred from the $5 listing process. It seems like it's just cleaned up the marketplace. Dealers are reporting a higher turnover in sales from their Craigslist listings, higher phone calls, and a lot of activity. So if you're posting to Craigslist, I do recommend that you use a tracking phone number so that you can actually monitor your call volume and make sure that, once again, just like any other site, you're getting the ROI that you expect from the $5 posts. It's a great, Craigslist to me is now such a better site for driving traffic to your dealership. It's a better shopper experience. There's less of that saturation that you're seeing, that you used to see, of just nonstop spam, the same vehicle by the same dealer over and over again. It's a much, much cleaner marketplace. So I advise that you set a monthly budget, monitor which days are working best for posting, and give yourself a good 90-day initiative to see if it's going to work for you. Post throughout the month. Post on the days that you think you're getting the most activity. Probably most people are shopping on their Craigslist listings on the weekends, but that also means that other dealers are probably posting the most on the weekends. So do trial and error with Craigslist, but we're seeing on our end dealers reporting a large number of sales or boost in sales since Craigslist has started charging. So it all depends on the ROI and what works for you. But I do recommend that you give it another shot if it was a marketplace that you abandoned a while ago just due to all the difficulties that used to be around it. So I'm going to wrap up here. I know it was a lot of information, but I think the main driving point home is that your success is quite contingent upon how appealing you are to your online shopper. What does your online shopper see? You need to you must understand that they're doing extensive research on your dealership before they even contact you. So your presence online is critical to your success. Do you have a website that's clean and informative? Are you driving information to your website and not just presenting inventory? Is your presentation, once they actually click into a vehicle, is it appealing to them? Does it have a lot of photos, video, description? Are you giving them content that they're going to learn from when they're looking at the vehicle presentation, more than just a couple pictures and some VIN code? Your social presence. They're going to look at your Facebook page just to kind of see reviews. They're going to read your online reviews as well. So it's important that you have a process in place to respond to reviews online and not everything that's going to be online about you is going to be 100% brimming with positivity. So it's all in how you also work with those negative reviews or the negative experiences in a public forum. And then, and you need to also coach or coax your current customers to express their positive experiences with you. So, try to offer incentives for people to put a positive review once they've had an experience with you, either by just taking a test drive or actually making a purchase. And then your mobile presence is extremely important. Your customers are checking usually on their mobile device first. That's usually their first experience with your dealership. So it is important that you have a nice cohesive mobile presence. And it all boils down to your first impression, how your inventory looks, what they see of you online, and then when they are actually reaching out to contact you or coming to your dealership, what kind of experience they're having. And how it all ties together with your full circle marketing, from your social media to your website to your online presence in its entirety, to them picking up the telephone and placing that first call or walking onto the lot to meet you for the first time. So that's the sum of what we have today. I know it's a lot of information, and if you have any further questions, I can totally make myself available via email. I can also answer to any phone calls or any questions that you have. Just feel free to shoot me an email, and we can get on a call together to maybe go over what you're doing currently, or if you have any questions about anything that we just went over. Also, if any of you want a copy of the presentation, I can make a PDF version of it and send it out to you. So just feel free to send any questions to my email address that's on the screen here.
Well, Tracy, thank you so much. That was a lot of great information. And like Tracy just said, if you have questions now, feel free to put them on the chat icon, and we can address them there. Just to get us started, I had a question about the videos that you were talking about. You gave us a great guideline for taking the time to take good quality photos and images for the website. But for the videos, is there a target length or a type of camera we should or shouldn't be using to make the videos, or does it vary depending on what you're doing?
For videos, I mean, now mobile devices have just become leaps and bounds in the quality of cameras and production software that's within mobile device now. So you can, if you want, go ahead and take your videos with your mobile device, connect your mobile device to your computer to quickly upload the video to YouTube. Another option is utilizing just a standard digital camera and doing the video with that. I mean, you can go to the next level of getting a high quality video camera, but today, with today's technology, our devices, our everyday mobile devices, and our digital cameras have really, it's good enough for what you're doing and what you're posting.
Okay, great. Another question we have is, how much time should I spend on a daily basis for Facebook or other social media?
A lot of social media, if you're searching for content, you need to carve out some time to generate content. So it's not just about how long is it going to take for you to post things to the social media. It's also, you have to factor in how long is it going to take you to generate the content. That's why I definitely advise that if, little things come up throughout the day, if somebody, if a customer asks a question on the telephone and you answer it, that's, it could be a viable topic for you to create a quick little blog post or create a quick little Facebook post that says, a lot of customers ask us blank, and we advise blah 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 blah. It's just a good way to spread out content, so it doesn't have to be such a huge daunting task of I have to write this blog post, or I have to come up with something to write on Facebook. Usually when you sit down and you're like, I have to come up with content right now, unless it's your regular job where you are the content contributor for a dealership, or you're the social media person who your sole job is doing research and trying to find things to write about. For the people who are trying to manage it themselves and just trying to get their feet wet and do it successfully, my number one piece of advice is do it organically. Don't sit down and be like, okay, I need to spend 15 minutes today on my social media. Come up with an idea of how to message yourself, or maybe write a note to yourself, or send a text to yourself, or send yourself a quick email when little points come up. And then when you get a free moment, you can go ahead and submit the post that you want to add. Who's going to do the voiceover? You have to find somebody with a good voice.
Okay, and another question related to Facebook. Should you post content generally at the same time each day, or is sporadic posting a better option?
Overly excited or something. Same time each day is. I personally have always been. I believe that you should post throughout the day. A lot of, if we're talking specifically about Facebook, we know that a lot of people spend a lot of hours on Facebook, generally when they're at work, believe it or not, and scrolling through their news feed. So you can really capture somebody at any point in time of the day. So I would recommend spreading it out. You don't doing it. If you're gonna do it, and the only way you can do it is to do it at the same time each day, then go ahead and do it at the same time each day. But feel free to spread it out, because that way you're reaching people. If somebody's checking their phone as soon as they get home, or they're at the gym and they're scrolling through their news feed, you're reaching people at different times of the day, as opposed to just I post every day at 10 a.m. It'll help you spread out the number of people that you're reaching and try to create more engagement.
Okay, and then one question related to bad or negative reviews or comments. You mentioned that sometimes if someone posts something negative on social media, it's a good opportunity to be visible and address that. Is it ever appropriate to delete a comment if there's absolutely no truth to it, or if it's something that's really negative or harmful, or should you generally leave it and respond to it?
If it's something that's vulgar, or if it's something that's harmful or negative, you can report it first and foremost. If it's something that is just, I had a bad experience with X dealership, blah, 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 I don't suggest that you delete it. I suggest that you respond to it. If the person's getting out of line and they're being vulgar, you still have an opportunity to respond so that your customers see that you're not just remove. If you just blanket remove something when somebody posts something negative, it's going to make you look guilty. Mm-hmm. Use the forum to respond to it, and if it gets out of line, or if it gets to the point where it's just not conducive to anything, you can always remove the post on Facebook. It's not. It's in your best interest to try to work it out online first, and suggest to them that you'll gladly speak to them offline. That's the best way to defer. If somebody has a negative review, write, thank you for your, for expressing your opinion. I'd like to work through this with you. Please give me a call at any point in time, or email me, and address it then. If they're getting out of line after that, then report it or remove it.
Okay, well, I think that's all the questions that we have. So, Tracy, thank you so much for joining us today. And everyone who was able to join and participate today, thank you for being here. Like we mentioned, a recorded version of this webinar will be available later on our members page of our website. And as Tracy said, if you have questions for her, you're welcome to contact her. Her email is currently listed on the screen.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.